Alright, peace. Peace to the family. How's everybody doing out there? Happy to see y'all. Happy to see y'all. We're about to have a conversation about this shmoney. We need to have a build about this shmoney. You know, we gotta get those electrolytes in. One of the best substances on planet Earth. If you just drink 2 to 4 of these a day, your life would change. As well as you eat this alongside avocado. And if you must eat any type of fish, salmon and avocado, coconut water. And if you do choose to eat pineapple, salmon, avocado, pineapple, coconut water, you winning. If you did eat a fish. Now if you don't, your avocado, sea moss, bladderwracks. Sea moss mixed with bladderwracks, avocado, coconut oil, 2 to 4 times a day. And let's not forget the black mission figs. Take 4 to 6 of those. 6 to 8 if you're a woman. Day to day, black mission figs. I'm just dropping that right there just to buy some time. That was a word from my holistic sponsors. So now we're about to get it in with this information. I got to kick it to you. I want to make sure that you share this video because we're about to go all the way in. Because what I want to talk to you about is what? How to make money by spending money. A lot of free information. Y'all really enjoyed the last one that I did. And the blessing for that is I'm encouraged to just do some more teaching. Always go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com if you're interested in my fiscal guidance, my financial guidance, holistic health guidance. Always go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. I also want you to know you can go to bp@IamBrotherPolight.com for the official re-grand opening of the website and the official facelift to the app. Email there to get your promotional code for your discounts on the re-grand opening of the IamBrotherPolight.com site and for the relaunching of the Brother Polight app, which is up now. So download the app, full upgrades, Thursday extended. Download the app. You'll be able to make your in-app purchases. You'll be able to purchase those books. You'll be able to put in a lot of work. We have so much information to share. Now today, I wrote Trust Me. And that is more of an assertion than it is a proposal. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm saying that's what needs to happen for me to get it in this world. So you should also be saying, trust me. Meaning what? Put you on. Give you a trust. That's what I mean by trust me. Give me my trust. The trust is the key to your survival. Particularly us in the lower tax bracket, looking for a transcendental fiscal experience, you need to get your trust. Make sure you save this stream. Make sure you share this stream with whoever you know, because again, this information is coming to you free. Most times a person wants you to set up a trust. It's normally supposed to be funded $50,000 upward. You could do your research on that. Most times someone wants you to set up a trust. They want you to put 50 grand towards it. And normally you get a trust fund manager and they're going to take their percentage of monies from that basket and you'll make minimal returns. Of course, we also provide the trust as well. So you can always send your full name and your phone number when I'm done talking. You can do your research. You can ask people, how much does a trust cost and how much do I need to fund it? And then you'll realize I create a whole different opportunity for you that's more viable. Always understand that. Now, again, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. POLIGHT45. That's pride, optimism, love, integrity, talent, honesty, and trust. It's an acronym. Brother, spelled the right way, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. Send your full name and your phone number. Got 7 of my books. Appreciate that. Appreciate. Huh? What helped them out?
Your books.
Oh, my book helped them out? I got to start screenshotting those. Screenshot for me. I got 7 of your books and they helped me out financially beyond words, brother. Thank you so much. Honorable Anka Moon October. Thank you so much. I love the book testimonials, and I know y'all been waiting for them to come back again. It's just the way I wanted to rebrand. I wanted to take some time off, and I got some new books that's going to be fire for you. But now let's go to the trust. First of all, I'm going to walk y'all through a very popular dimension of thought that I propose to the people. Make sure you share this video. It's very important for our family to get up on it. Definitely got to set up a trust. Now, I teach that love is law, family is business, right? And so, since love is law, family is business, what does every relationship require in order for it to be successful? Well, the number one key to success is communication. And therefore, I credit 95% of my success is based on my ability to communicate. And 95% of the success of anything else is based on communication, based on understanding, based on the message being conveyed, and based on how unique, how special, how personal the message may be, how formal, depending on the circumstance. That criteria in itself will be the determining factor of how much you succeed. Now, we are very emotional people, and that's why we say love is law and family is business. Love means law, that's what we on, and family is business. And a lot of us have a tendency not to mind our own business, which means we're not paying attention to our own family. Families rule the world. You could call them bankers, or we recognize them by their last name, because their last name has such prominency that we may say the Rothschilds or the Bilderbergs or, whoever the names may be, we mention them by last name. So you have to start taking your last name just as serious. So what I suggest to people is they erect a trust. A trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. That's the definition of a trust. Property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. I always suggest that you name the trust after yourself. If not your full name, your last name first. Because psychologically, you want to impose this idea to reality that you are a business, that you are a brand. You should make no distinction amongst yourself and your business. You and your business are one and the same. And once you establish the fact that you are your business, you are your brand, your family is your business, your family is your brand, there's a certain level of integrity that comes with that. And now you just won't sleep with anybody, or you won't just allow anyone into your family because you just wouldn't allow anyone into your business. They would have to have a certain resume. They would have to meet your criteria. They would have to fulfill some of the tenets of what you deem to suffice for someone to be able to work for you. They would have to have certain skill sets or certain qualities. So when we're talking about our family, we shouldn't just allow anyone into our family or anyone to just marry our daughters or our sons. And you shouldn't just marry anybody. But first, you have to see family is business. Therefore, you have to make love law. When we make love law, we're not saying to omit the emotional clauses that comes with love. We're saying to run them concurrent with economical clauses, because there's a dichotomy to the emotional faculty that we call love, and that dichotomy represents business on the other extreme of that pole. So as I taught before, there's an emotional context to love and there's an economical context to love. And both of them use many similar words. So when you are in a relationship, the average person, particularly women, but everybody should want the following things. You want what? You want love. You want friendship. You want consideration. You want appreciation. You want trust. You want bonding. You want sharing. And you want a sense of security. Well, in business, you need the same thing. In business, you need the same exact thing. In business, you need bonding, you need sharing, you need trust, you need appreciation, you need friendship, right? You need a sense of security. You need the same thing in business. But today we're going to focus on the trust. But before we do that, let's give you an overview for those of you that are new. And those of you that's been walking with me, I know you can't get it enough because it's a dope analogy. And it's actually a reality. So love is law, family is business. And everything that you're looking for in love you should run it concurrent with business so that your love doesn't make you fail. Because people in love in the lower tax bracket tend to fail because they put the love before or above business instead of run it concurrent. So now that we can establish a dichotomy amongst the tenets of love, which is friendship. A friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. Then there is what? Consideration. In law, consideration is when two parties identify an asset that they think may be mutually beneficial to both of them. And since it's mutually beneficial, meaning since both parties feel they can benefit from that asset, they then determine that they need to draw up some paperwork that identifies their relativity to that particular investment. So that's called consideration, when a contract is drawn up amongst two parties that identify an asset as being mutually beneficial to them. So now we have friendship. A friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. Imagine if that was the actual tenet of friendship. Because before you could be in love, you got to have friendship. And your love got to be made up of principles, rules, and tenets. So the rules to love, because love is law, is to establish family as business. And we can't be family and in love until we have friendship. And a friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. And in that friendship, you have to have consideration. And the consideration is the appreciation. And in consideration, we find appreciation. Now, what is appreciation? Appreciation is when that asset that the two considered, when I say considered, we mean two people that wrote a contract identifying with the same asset for them to get a return. When you get a return from that which the two of you have considered in light of that contract, that means that it's appreciating. So if two people get together and purchase a piece of real estate and they start making money off of the people that they've written the real estate out to, then that real estate is appreciating. So we have appreciation in light of consideration due to friendship, because our love is law and our family is business. This is how we stay safe in both worlds. These are facts. I get chills talking these facts. And I ain't even get to the trust. I'm going to talk to you about the trust. You should share this video. I know a lot of stuff goes over people's heads. Sometimes you want to just see someone doing something randomly stupid online. But it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't edify you. So I can't do that. These videos is what I say is the most overlooked video. Because when I'm debating in the streets, people love that contention. But when I'm here talking about this family, growth, economics, amassing wealth, people go brain dead on me because they think money's evil. But anyway, we're going to go forward. So now that we got friendship, we're going to make our love law and our family business. We're going to mind our business, which is to say we're going to mind our family. We know 95% of any successful business demands communication. So what are we going to communicate? What is our conveyance? Our conveyance is that a friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. And consideration is when two parties identify with an asset and realize it can be mutually beneficial, and in turn they decide to draw up an instrument or contract identifying the same in the hopes that that property will appreciate, meaning that they will make a profit off the very asset that they considered. This property should be held in trust. Trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit, because as a man we're going to have some form of dowry, or we're going to break up the shares. So now they're sharing, because we want in a relationship, we want sharing. So we're going to identify whose share belongs to, or what percentage of the profits or the ownership will go to the man and go to the woman. And in that we have bonding, because it will identify a debt obligation, particularly through a UCC, which is prerequisite to a real estate transaction in this particular instance. And of course there should be a security agreement to preface the UCC, which identifies who the creditor is, because the creditor can only be birthed by way of the debtor. So who owes who, and in what percentage and what amount. So now we have a trust, which is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. So in that trust we're going to have beneficiaries, we're going to have trustees. We're going to properly identify what the shares are. And in that, we identify where the bond is, where the debt obligation is, because there'll be a creditor and a debtor. The beneficiaries most likely would be the posterity of the two. If there's a couple, their children will be the beneficiaries. But they themselves can also be the beneficiaries, depending on the disposition of the trust. It could be a living trust, it could be an endowment fund trust, it could be a irrevocable trust. There's many different types of trust. But a trust needs to be put into effect. Okay? trust needs to be put into effect. Make sure you save that link, IamBrotherPolight.com. It's up, but Thursday it'll be lit. We back up and running. Make sure you download that app. It's for iPhone and Android users. Download it now. So, you know, it's just weird. So, now we're going to keep going. So what did we go over so far? Friendship. Brother Polight is the name of the app. Brother Polight. That's simple. Download Brother Polight. The site is already up. But purchases for the re-grand opening will be commenced on Thursday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We litty. Brother Polight is the name of the app. My name is the name of the app, Brother Polight. Same name of this Facebook page, Brother Polight. Brother Polight is the name of the app. And if you're interested in being coached financially, if you're interested in being coached holistically, yes, it does cost money, but it's well worth it. And what I got to say to you about the trust today, I'm sure you've never heard before, because this type of information isn't disseminated much in our community. That's why I say share the video as much as you can, share with as much as people as you know. Share it. It's free. Share it. Someone could use it. Okay? So now we have our love is law, because our family is business. We must start off with friendship, and a friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. So from now on, your best friend is your best investor, and the feeling is mutual. Your best friend is one who's investing in you, contributing to you. Shouldn't that be the way friendship is? Look through your phone, and how many of those people would really invest in you? That's the question. How many people would invest in you on your phone? Think about that, and then start erasing contacts, because a lot of your contacts is worthless. It don't have to be money necessarily, because your network is supposed to be your net worth. And if your network is your net worth, based on the amount of people you have in your phone, you probably be in debt right now, because no one has anything to offer you. You probably in debt right now. If your network is your net worth, many of you be in debt right now, because you don't have contributors as your contacts. You don't even have people that you can say, let me connect him with her, because they'll produce something and include me.
Exactly, I'm already deleting.
Start deleting those contacts. I can feel the debt. Some of you got like 200 damn contacts in there. Broke as hell. And if you got 200 people's names in your phone and you still broke, you better off having 2 names in your phone. You and your lover, you and your spouse, or you and your child. You know what I'm saying? You better limit it down to 5 or 7 people. You should not have 100 contacts in your phone and lacking $100 in your pocket, or even 1,000 for that matter. 100 contacts, man. You're supposed to. You know, when I rent out a store or office space, I was taught to find out how much square feet is that store, and to evaluate how much it costs for me to keep those doors open in retrospect to how many square feet. And therefore, each square foot has to be worth X amount of dollars. And then I do 6 Sigma resource allocation to determine how much people should be employed to not contradict the price that it costs to get in the door in retrospect to the amount of square feet, because each square foot has to be worth X amount of dollars. Okay? That's what this is. Thank you, brother. He said I'm sharing this all day today. And tomorrow. I'm with that. So, how to make money off of spending money. We're going to get there, but first I had to make sure that we put family in proper context. Love is law, family is business. We're going to mind our business, which means we're going to pay attention to our family. I may repeat things over and over, not because I forgot anything that I'm saying. I'm repeating things because I want you to remember during the course of this stream, because no matter how much you want to continue to study, I know that many of you exist in the 1/3. Because you work a 9 to 5, that's 8 hours. You probably drive 1 hour to go to work and 1 hour to come back, that's 10 hours. They say we should sleep about 8 hours a day. Most of you sleep 6 hours. So that's 18 hours out of 24. So 2/3 of your life, you're spending your time contributing to building someone else's dream. And the other 1/3 is your life. Inside that 1/3 that belongs to you, you have to determine if you're going to cook, clean, socialize, read, write, study, travel. None of which you can do inside of the 1/3 that's left. So now you have to make the sacrifice to not study, most people, not read, most people, You see? You're going to make the time out to probably watch TV and socialize and go into the nightlife and club. And that's why so many people are so distracted right now, because they only got 1/3 of their life that they got to squeeze everything else into, because the other 2/3 they're using to contribute to somebody else's life. The reason why you woke up and you washed your behind is because you had to go to work. You didn't wake up, wash your behind because it was the right thing to do. You woke up, washed your behind because you had to go to work. You only ate lunch so you can have enough energy to sustain yourself to continue working for somebody else. You only ate dinner so you can have enough strength so you can get up in the morning to go to work. You only eat breakfast so you can have the drive to make sure that you're not fatigued when you go to work. So you're only eating breakfast, you're only eating dinner, you're only eating lunch, and you're only washing up, and you're only going to sleep, and you're only waking up to create someone else's dream or to perpetuate someone else's dream. So the only way you can really get out of that, when you are in the struggle or in the grind, or you got to stack, or you got to come up, is to make love, law, and family business. That's what I mean by it. This is the key to getting out. Partner up with someone, not just because the sex is good. Facts. Make sure they're your friend first. And when I say make sure that woman is your friend first, make sure that man is your friend first, what I mean is a friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. And if you can't find a vision that you and her can come to terms with, then there will be no consideration. Therefore, there will be no appreciation. Therefore, there will be no trust. Therefore, there will be no bonding. Therefore, there will be no sharing. Hence, the lack of security. Because security is a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock, or ownership of a bond, as in the case of a debt obligation, which has tradable derivatives. So all you're saying is because it has a QSIP on it, a Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure, because something has a QSIP, which is the key word again is security, and security is a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock or ownership of bond, as in the case of debt obligation. I say the same thing over and over so you can learn and so you can remember. That's why I do that. I'm not losing it. And because this information has changed my life, I make sure I commit everything that changes my life to memory. I keep a thorough note of it. So now, what is the security? It's a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock. This is when you get the mortgage note. This is when you get the car note. Because you're not going to carry your car around to prove you have your car, what the value of your car is. There's a piece of paper that does that attests to ownership and equity. Okay? The mortgage note is a piece of paper that attests to ownership and equity. It's a piece of paper that tells you, without having to carry your house in your back pocket or in your book pack or your book bag, it says, oh, I can prove ownership and equity by way of this piece of paper. So when you do your business and you set up your trust and you establish where the bonding and the sharing takes place per the security agreement, you have now the proper context to family being business. Now you're on the level. And even when you break up, now you know how to break up properly, because no one is handicapped, because the prerequisite steps were set up. The prerequisite steps were erected already. So even when you part, you don't feel drained, because the main part about a breakup that hurts people is one side lacking more than the other. And that's set up by design, most times not by either side. It's just the circumstance that exists, because the prerequisite steps were not put into effect in the very beginning. This will save you time and energy from consuming so much time being with someone only to lose them and then feel like you have nothing after. Because you wasn't building the whole time. You just kept trying to find out new sex positions. And when you grew tired of that, and you said, man, I want my wife to dress conservative, I want her to dress down, you grew more attractive to other women because you had your wife dressing down so much, everyone else became more attractive. You wanted her to not look attractive, and in turn, you found everyone else attractive. The way we operate is crazy. And when people say, why you let your wife show legs? Because I want to look at her legs. Why you let her wear form-fitting clothes other people are going to look at her, including me? It's the psychology behind what they teach us. Oh, put your head down when you see a beautiful woman. She shouldn't show her hair. Hey, listen, man, all that stuff going to make you start loving men if you're a man. I want to look at beautiful women. I'm able to sit down with my wife right here. She right here, there she go. I'm able to sit down with my wife and we could both say, man, that sister's beautiful. And she don't feel insecure about it. Sometimes she tell me, sometimes I tell her. But she know I'm content. We 20 years in. Still super attracted to her. She's amazing. Any woman I'm with. I don't have to run around. You know why? Because I'm given the freedom to be me. And that's what you need. The freedom to be you so people can embrace you for who and what you are. I don't need nobody to oppress me into acting like I don't like what I like. Because then eventually I'm going to have resentment for them. Okay? So that's the sidebar. So now we're going to get back. So love is law, family is business. A friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in. Those two people get together, those two friends, after establishing this friendship, they now develop some consideration, which they identify an asset as having value that can be mutually beneficial to both of them. In light of this, and they become successful, that asset appreciates. So now they have appreciation in light of their consideration due to their friendship, because love is law and family is business. So they had to become friends first, which means they had to be willing to invest in each other first. There has to be reciprocity. In light of that, they had to identify their shares and their bonding, because they set up a trust, which is properly held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. And the bonding and the sharing, which are requisite steps to establishing or erecting a partnership, was detailed and outlined via the security, which is a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock, and ownership of a bond, as in the case of a debt obligation, which has tradable derivatives. So now we have the epitome of what family actually is, or the epitome of what we mean by love is law, family is business. And what we mean by love is law, family is business is that there is a friendship prerequisite that needs to be established. Prerequisite step is friendship. We understand to be in love is to be in a state of law. And I gave you the exact order to give you some direction. You could do everything else in between, but make sure you understand that there's a dichotomy to the emotional words that we use contextually when identifying that we are in love. And I'm not telling you to get rid of those tenets called friendship, appreciation, bonding, sharing, consideration, and security and trust. I'm not telling you to get rid of those things. Those are actually excellent things to build a relationship upon. But understand its dichotomy, and that they're not exclusive to only emotion, but they do behold, or they are beholding to economics. And that should not be ignored either. And in fact, that should be the first steps that one should take in the direction of having a serious relationship. Walk with me. Make sure you share this video, man. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share it. Going in. Again, if you're interested in being coached, everybody needs a coach, except for when it comes to money. People got trainers, people got coaches, people got psychologists, people got therapists, people got guidance counselors. But then when it comes to making money, we just out there on our own. No one tells us we need to be put in a direction that can benefit us or empower us. It's very interesting. But anyway, if you're looking for coaching, I do consultations. Consultations are $200 an hour for my consultant, and the mentorship costs more, because that takes place for 45 to 60 business days or 60 to 90 business days. We go in, and I show you step by step how to structure your situation, make money during the program, and keep making money after the program without my assistance or intervention. If you're interested in that, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Brother POLIGHT 45@gmail.com. Thank you. Continue to share the video. I appreciate it. Get the information out. At the very least, at least we got the information. All right? And don't forget, if a friend is one who's willing to invest in you and one you're willing to invest in, then it stands to reason your network might be putting you in debt. If your network is your net worth, your network might be putting you in debt. How about that one? We might need a conversation to break that down. If your network is your net worth, then it's no wonder why so many people are in debt. Because the people that they associate themselves with do not contribute to their life in no shape, form, or fashion, other than recreational times that cost money, time, and energy. People are good to go out to see a movie, and they're good to go out to dinner, and they're good to buy some drinks and get something to smoke, and they're definitely good to have some sex with. But outside of that, when do the bills get paid in light of your relationship with them? So if your network is your net worth, don't be put in debt by the Maya of just social undertakings such as partying or free time. That's what they call it, free time, because you're not making no money. Shit's free. They don't call that pay time. Alright? I hope you're paying attention. They call it free time. Because someone's just joining in for the ride. It's on you, right? Drinks is on the house, right? Drinks is on the house. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the trust. Why is the trust so very important? This is gonna be the doozy right here. Trust is important when you set up a trust. For starters, I'm gonna give you an example. Many of you, are you living? Oh, first, let's do this. What is a trust? A trust is a corporation of some sort. It's a business, right? And so a synonym for a business or corporation, or trust in particular, would be person or legal person. I'm not making this up. So another way to identify a business or a corporation is by calling it a person, a legal person, a fiction, a legal fiction. And this person has a personality, which is the laws, the provisions that correspond with the actual trust, the mission statement, the outline. That's called the personality of the person being the trust. The same way people claim people called children on their taxes is the same way you can claim your person called the trust on your taxes. Only thing is you get more money for claiming your trust, your person, than you get for claiming little Day Day and Ray Ray, who's not even your child. See? So we can stop the child fraud when it comes to claiming taxes. We can stop that. All right? We can actually create a person called a trust, and we can write off our spending. And in doing so, we'll make monies back while we're spending money. We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about that. All right. So, I go to a basketball game. I spend $8,000 on some seats. I'm likely to get back probably $5,000 or $5,500 because I'm saying that I went there under the pretense that I was able to close a deal with my celebrity friend or whoever. And I wanted to just butter them up, and I know they love basketball. So this was a social event that would bring me closer to striking a deal with someone under more familiar terms and circumstances. It's always in the narrative. Remember I said 95% of your success is predicated upon communication. So when it comes to filing taxes and doing write-offs, it's all about the narrative. And if I went to that basketball game and that basketball game is going to be written off, then the Uber that I took there or the gas that I paid and the tolls that I paid to get there also have to be written off. And the hotel that I'm staying in also has to be written off, because all of that is part of that whole business agenda. And therefore, the food I eat that day, whether it's to sustain me or to have that actual potential partner there, is part of the business. Because now we got to do this. When I had my restaurant license, I was able to buy a box of tomatoes that had 100 tomatoes in it for only $9, while other people struggled in the supermarkets and for $9 probably got 9 tomatoes, 3 in a pack for $3, something to that effect. You know, I like them expensive tomatoes. So now the name of the game is this. Watch this. Someone then turns around. One of my people say, well, Polight, I'm going to the restaurant depot with you since the tomatoes is cheaper. I'm like, word, follow me down. No, I'm not spending no more $9 on the tomato. And what? How much lettuce you getting in a box? Yo, Polight is spending like $5 on a whole box filled with mad lettuce. I can feed my whole family with that. I'm coming down with the Home Depot with you, brother. So they come to the Food Depot with me. And they fill up their giant carts. Got 2 of them. I got my carts. And they're like, excuse me. You got your restaurant license? No. So you can't buy this here. He's like, but this man clearly has a business. He's making more money than me, and he's getting it for cheaper. I work a 9 to 5. I'm struggling check to check, and you telling me I can't buy this stuff for cheaper? But the man who's clearly making more money than me can buy it for cheaper? Now, that worker didn't really know all the nuances or the technical aspects. They just got to follow the rules. Listen, if you don't got a restaurant license, you can't buy these things for significantly cheaper. But the reality is, there's something special about me. the business that I have set up has created opportunities viable enough for other people to go into debt. Because now I have my own plantation. You didn't expect me to say it like that, right? I'm going to say it different so it doesn't sound so rude and so horrible, so stark. What happens is, if you create opportunities for other people to spend their money in the form of property taxes, student loans, car notes, and mortgages, I'm telling you like it is, then the government will make concessions to you, because now you have your own little plantation going where you are allowing other people to either find themselves that they could grow into the reality of opening up their own business, or two, just become workers. And workers are liabilities. Entrepreneurs are not. Entrepreneurs will eventually and effectively create other jobs or businesses for other people. I'm not talking about sole businesses. We're going to teach you how to create job opportunities for other people. People get LLCs and all that stuff. But for the life of me, I never understand that limited liability company, right? For the life of me, I never understand why so many black people have businesses and it's a sole business. There's only one person or two people that run the business. When we do our entrepreneur thing, we only have one person. That's weird. Do you know, even if you have somebody, I mean, you got all these friends in your phone. Why are those people not considered employees that are on internship to learn the business? So therefore, you don't have to pay them. You know, you could write off all of that and get monies back for each employee that you have. You know, you could get a group universal insurance policy and have insurance policies out for everyone, which makes your insurance cheaper. And in the event anything happens to them, they're covered, and you get a large percentage of the money every time something happens to them. And it'd be nice if you actually give them some of your share, but you don't have to. See, this is business, and it sounds negative and it sounds true, but if you ever go to Walmart and you go on them lines, you'll realize everybody looks like this on the line. And then when they cash, when they clear the register, they go from here to here. They're either very old, meaning they're about to die, or they're impaired somehow, which most likely their mortality is compromised. And the reason why those people are the ones being hired is not because they're good Samaritans. The reason why those people are being hired is not because they're good Samaritans. Walmart is not about the whole philanthropic thing. It's good in the narrative. In the narrative, we can sell you on the fact we're giving opportunities to people who generally don't get opportunities. But the reality is they got insurance policies out on everybody there that look like they're going to die relatively soon. And when those people die, they don't even allocate some of those funds to those people's families. They keep it. So they got $1 million insurance policies for all their workers. So the benefit is not really them working at the register. They get a small amount of money from that. The real money is when they finally die, or when they have to go to the hospital, because each day that they're in the hospital, Walmart will get $3,000 for the day, or $5,000 for the day. And when they finally kick the bucket, Walmart will get $250,000, $1 million, $2 million, depending on that person's death benefit, when they pull out insurance policies on their workers. But what I'm saying is, bosses get insurance policies on their workers. Bosses, whether they paying you or not, they doing write-offs for every employee that you have. And you got hundreds of people in your phone. You're going to set up a business, and you're not going to have no employees. You just happy that your shit says LLC. You need to be taught properly. I know I'm talking crazy, man. Y'all should share this video. Okay, brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Brother POLIGHT 45@gmail.com. Brother Polight. Now let me tell you some more stuff. I know I'm wilding. I'm sharing this, and you might probably be like, man, that all makes sense. Why ain't nobody telling us this? Because you ain't supposed to know. And that's why I took it easy. I stopped before the lecture and stuff because I felt like I was being a target. Because all the people not actually teaching but talking were starting to come after me. I'm like, yo, okay, let's see who's successful. Let's look at them 5 years later and look at me 5 years later. Let's look at them 1 year later, look at me 1 year later. Who's always elevating? But they know more than me, because they know about the stars, and they know about UFOs, and they know about, black power, and put your boots on the cracker's neck. None of them have fulfilled any of the promises to kill crackers and beat them up and create an all-black planet and all that other rhetoric. I've fulfilled what I'm supposed to do. Now, I deal with that which is practical. Now, I know our people ain't really going to bang until all of us are pretty much put in a position to have to bang. So it's going to have to be a lot of death and destruction before everybody wakes up and says, I'm ready to fight. And when that comes, I put back on my revolutionary hat, and I'll be the first one out there. But right now, to go out there and put yourself out there, black people would just say, man, he was a smart brother, man. Look how they did him. Other people will believe it, and other people would just say, man, that's bad, man. He was actually a good brother. I already know the game. We've seen it over and over. So there's other ways that I can teach. I could put my accolades into film. I can manage artists and influence their message. And through their popularity, I could vicariously speak through them. And I can mentor people that already have established fame and give them great vision and ideas on what they could do to grow more wealth. And in light of them growing extra wealth on account of my teachings, when they amass that wealth, I could say allocate some of that towards our people who have less. That's the best I could do, because I'm not in no position to really be telling people what to do with their money to the point of me getting angry with them. But what I can do is say, if I help you make more than you already was making, do you mind allocating some of that towards our family that has less? That's the best thing I could do. That's being practical. There's just different ways to teach. But anyway, we're going to move forward. So now you got to trust. You're going to do your thing. Now, here's the question for you. Are you living where you work, or are you working where you live? I want y'all to actually think about that and answer it. Are you living where you work, or are you working where you live? Do you live where you work, or do you work where you live? Sounds like the same thing, but I told you it's all about the narrative. It's all about communication. Are you living where you work? Are you working where you live? You are working where you live. And if you're working where you live, now your mortgage is going to be cheaper and your rent is going to be cheaper. Why? Because you should put your residency under corporate. Meaning your living situation, whoever you pay bills to, should be paid to order on behalf of your trust. Because the only reason you live where you live is because you can make money there, not because you love where you're at. It just so happens part of the vision of the trust to eventually employ many other people several times over. This is a stepping stone. So even if you got a job somewhere, you're going to use some of those monies from your job and put it into this vision that is your trust, in the hopes that one day you will amass the wealth that the mission statement of the trust stipulates through your hard work and endeavors. And if you don't, there's no penalty. But at least you have something that has that projection that says, I intend on not just employing myself through my merits and accolades, but I intend to employ other people. And when I employ these other people, they will obviously be able to be part of the system and contribute more in the form of them engage in debt. And now concessions will be made to you to write off. One of many things you should be writing off is your rent or your mortgage month to month. So if you change your living situation to corporate, if you put your house under your company and say this is your place of business, because you are working where you live, not living to work. Many of you live to work instead of work to make a living, so-called, right? You're working where you at by circumstance. So do you live where you work, or do you work where you live? You're working where you live. The only reason you are where you, and this is true, this is actually not a lie. The main reason you are where you at right now today, because if you got a better job and a better opportunity, you will move to another state, right or wrong. So it's not like you're lying, but it's all in your conversation. So if it be made clear through your communication, 95% of your success is predicated upon it. If it be made clear that the reason why you are where you are is because of the circumstance that there's an opportunity in this location that empowers you with an ability, be it minuscule or somewhat large. Your most immediate sense of empowerment comes from what you are able to earn in this particular space because someone is cutting your check there. This is not where you want to live. This is not where you intend to be for the rest of your life. This is a circumstance why you live here. And because it's circumstantial, this is not your dream place. I am only here to work. Then that makes your home corporate. And now, since your house is under the trust, and your utilities are now assigned to your trust, your light is assigned to the trust, your gas is assigned to your trust, your cable bill is assigned to your trust. Because these are the things that you're funding socially to stay sane and to be safe, so you can work another day to get more money, so you can transcend the space that you're in. Now your mortgage is going to be cheaper. Your rent is going to be cheaper by hundreds of dollars. Because you're only there on business. You're not there just for living. Like many of you got a driver's license, right? And to be licensed to do something is for the purposes of making money. But many of you are driving up and down the street, not making no money because of driving. So then what do you need a license for? You're not moving goods or products. So in that context, you're living somewhere, and that's actually a business decision for you to live there. It's not a living decision, it's a business decision. You're only where you at. Some of you are only in the projects because you have to be until you can make more money. So why is your project apartment not under your business? Some of you are only in the hood, I would suppose, because you need more money. And if you're only in the hood because you need more money, why is the crib that you are paying rent out of, or the mortgage that you're paying, why is that property not under your company to make it clear that this is not the living situation that's ideal to me? I'm here based on circumstance and sacrifice, so this is my office. And if this is your office, now your $1,200 a month rent is now $700 or $800 a month rent. But you don't hear me though. You want to talk about killing crackers. But there's things that you can do to empower yourself. Because no matter how much bodies you pretend to catch or want to catch, they ain't going to put no extra money in your pocket and they ain't going to feed your family. Press 9 if what I'm saying is real talk. I give you chills from so many different perspectives. It's amazing that if you start talking to certain people from different walks of life, with certain types of success, the conversation it'll change your world. And if you talk to the same people, your world won't change. I'm building with you right now, and I can guarantee you, I can feel me resonating with y'all, because I know this ain't a regular conversation, because we don't converse like this in the community, because if people in your hood knew this, they wouldn't live in your hood.
That's true.
So when I said I had to move out the community, people didn't understand. 95% of my goal was to change the conversation, because conversation is prerequisite to success. It's all about your communication. So just a slight of detail in your communication to let people know you are living where you're living by circumstance. You can write off where you're living and make your rent that much more cheaper, or your mortgage that much cheaper, or your purchase of a property that much cheaper, because a trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. I'm just building with you. Those of you that say, how can I support, how can I help, the best thing you can do, share the video as much as you can with people. If they don't got Facebook, tell them, yo, you need to set up a Facebook so you can watch these videos. Because some of this stuff I only do on Facebook. I'm going to start doing some stuff on Instagram as well, the Instagram TV. I like to keep the social media exclusive in this respect. So what's the sense of sharing everything on the same exact platform? I like to give everything a different personality. So, I like to drip on them on Instagram. I do a lot of dripping, and periodically I do my teaching. But it's still teaching at the end of the day, because you need to see people that are conscious, that have this knowledge, also be able to demonstrate material success as well. So being conscious doesn't mean lacking material success or hating it. I just come here to bring balance, people. This is just another section in my life. This isn't going on YouTube. I think it's going to go on YouTube. There's a brother, Rycon 2. You go to that channel, Rycon 2. He puts up a lot of my videos. And I'm going to do a variation of this on YouTube again with a PowerPoint and really go in. But thank y'all. If y'all interested in the mentorship, getting some guidance, like I always say, mentorship costs, but it actually pays. So consulting is $200 an hour. But mentorship costs more because it's more elaborate in detail, because I'm working with you for 1.5 months to 2 months. That you have to email me your full name and your phone number. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Brother, POLIGHT 45@gmail.com if you're interested in me coaching you and just showing you the ropes. I mean, just imagine what you're going to learn. Look what I'm saying right now. Ain't nobody going to tell me, oh, this is common knowledge, because it wasn't common knowledge for me. You know why? Because when you stay in the same place, the same information is there. And that's what causes the disease known as poverty, because one of the #1 causes of disease is poor circulation. The type of information being circulated in the community doesn't really immediately affect your living disposition. You can mess around, you can listen to somebody speak for hours and feel uplifted. Walk out of there and realize you're still in a poverty-stricken condition, or realize you're still working check to check, or realize you're not happy with your situation. You have to change your environment so you could change the opportunity to get information. Okay, so if anyone ever asks why you should get a trust over an LLC or an S Corp, and sometimes over a Type B company or a private gift company, or what's the difference between Type B private gift company or a trust, or PIH, which are private interest holders, which you'll want to get that later, or an LLC and do a UCC1, so the LLC is beholden to the trust in the form of a debtor, and therefore identifying the trust as private, so the LLC does everything in the public, and the trust takes all things after liquid and puts it in its possession through a UCC1 financing statement. There's reasons for this, but at least you're getting some insight, because people just say things. Many of you got an LLC, and the only thing that you can say is, yeah, I got a company and it says LLC at the end. If I ask the average person, what exactly is an LLC? What does it mean? And what do they mean by limited liability company? What does all of that mean? Average person don't know. They're just happy that they got a piece of paper that says, you know, I got to own business. Now, how many people got your own business is broke? Having your own business doesn't mean you're successful. It's a step, for what it's worth, for facilitating the business and understanding why one business construct over the other is more ideal than actually having the business itself. Because you damn near could just have a personal bank account if you don't know what you're doing. What about UCC3? UCC3 is for amendments. That's when you're making an adjustment on the relationship amongst creditor and debtor. You know, they would never use the word addendum because it's not part of the words that are used in that construct. So they wouldn't use the word addendum. But that's where you make amendments, UCC3. It's definitely better to get trust over LLC. But there are instances where you want the LLC and you want the trust. But the LLC has to operate in public and the trust will operate in private. But to just get the LLC in itself, I would have to ask you, why did you get it in the first place? And most people don't know. It's just popular to get one. It's just popular. People get LLCs because it's popular. That's the one thing that's suggested. You know, I'm going to set up your business, you can get LLC. You go online, you can type that up yourself, get it registered, knock it out. You satisfied. Because you got a piece of paper that says the government approved your right to have a business. And the bank also accepted. And now it's all in the words. They know we don't got much. So if you put your name on something and certify it and stamp it, many of you feel like the job has been done and it's been completed already. Many of you feel like the job has been completed already. Yeah, we taught LLC, so what's best for us. Then the next sentence should have been, so how is it good and why? In contrast to what? Then we go blank. So I tell you this, download that Brother Polight app. You can go to BP, as in Brother Polight, go to BP at IamBrotherPolight.com to apply for your discount. Just say, hey, my name is such and such and my phone number is such and such. I'm interested in any rebate or discount available for the grand opening of the IamBrotherPolight.com site and the app. You send that to BP at IamBrotherPolight.com. For those of you interested in mentorship, do not send your mentorship request over there. Send me your full name and phone number at brother, POLIGHT 45 at gmail.com. Send your full name, your phone number, saying I'm interested in your mentorship program. Remember, mentorship costs, but it pays. The cheaper one is the consultant, and I do that for $200 an hour. Man, so I got to get ready to bust some moves, but I just want to take a little time out and get a little building, do some building. Just had this spirit say, you know what, I want to talk to them about trust. I want to write trust me and let them know that this is not a proposal, this is an assertion. Trust me up. Give me my trust. If you're interested in getting the trust, of course, you can hit us up for that too. Just always leave your full name, your phone number, say, yo, Polight, I'm ready to get my trust established. Number one thing you should do. And I'm going to tell you this. While other people are spending money day to day, they'll never get the money back. There's some people are getting money back for spending and other people are not. Ain't that crazy? Just because of the conversation, just because of the communication, just because of the narrative. You have to control the narrative. So you're going to visit Florida, but you got a real estate trust set up. Who's to say that while you're in Florida, someone might not attempt to sell you a timeshare, or who's to say you may not look at something and say, you know what, I think this is a profitable venture. So yeah. So watch this. You may go to visit family in Florida, but that doesn't mean that you're still not an investor at heart. So if I wind up having to go to Florida, even though I'm going to see some family, I'm there on business. I'm always everywhere on business. So that plane ticket, that taxi from the airport, the car rental, the dinner, the lunch, the hotel, damn it, the clothes I bought. If I had to buy some new shoes, it could have been sneakers. It depends who I'm meeting and how I want to appeal to them. I'm writing all that off. You understand what I'm saying? I know you see me winking. I'm writing all of it off. So while some people are spending money day to day and getting nothing back, others of us are always getting something back from what we spend. You got people out here getting back 30-40% of the money that they spend every year right back, because they're writing it off. Because the narrative that they control, their CPA go to work and they make it happen. Control your narrative. 95% of your business success is predicated upon your ability to communicate what's taking place. And those who fail to communicate are those who fail to benefit. Those who fail to communicate are the ones who fail to benefit. Facts. Absolute facts. Yeah, so your house, your apartment, your car is a device that's used to help you facilitate your business. So why is your car in your own name? I'm gonna tell you why your car is in your name. Because we didn't have nothing for so long, we want everything in our damn name. It's a poor people's mentality. The wealthiest people in the world die with very little in their name. The wealthiest people in the world right now, on paper, might even come off as looking broke. On paper. And that's why they had to come up with something called net worth, where they have to place the value of who you are based on your possessions. Because me, the person, I got very little money in the account. It's a fact. And any educated person operates the same way. It's not a black or white thing. And some people may have somewhat a monopoly on accessing the information, but no one has a monopoly on information. So it's a poor excuse. You got to go out there. If you want the information, you're going to find it. That's why I said share the video. You'd be surprised who needs it. Share it with a random person and share the video with someone you know definitely needs it. Share it. Tell them watching beginning to end. There's no BS here. I'm building straight through. Not a bunch of emotion and rhetoric to rile you up and talk about slavery and make you angry about other people. You get that from so many other people. I don't need to be part of that. I decide I don't need to be part of that. Many people can get you upset and revisit slavery and history and all that. You need some other information. Okay? Some of the wealthiest people in the world technically are very broke by design to protect them. Alright, so if you're interested in trust, or you're interested in the mentorship, or you're interested in consulting, just go to POLIGHT45@gmail.com. I want to thank y'all very much for the time and the opportunity that you gave me to share information. I hope it's empowered you, and I hope you use it to empower other people. I hope you follow up. I hope you go get the corresponding books. You know, I've written over 90 plus books, and I got some new ones that's a doozy, but I got many economical books. Make sure you email bp@IamBrotherPolight.com. BP as in Brother Polight. Those two initials, bp@IamBrotherPolight.com. If you're interested in any promotional codes, discounts, or rebates, meaning you buy a book, the next time you buy another one, you're going to get something for a cheaper price. So you buy an order, the next time you make an order, we're going to give you something off significantly. And that's in light of the new grand opening of the site and the relaunching of the app. I want to thank y'all so much for everything. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this information, because if nothing else, I know you've benefited from something that I said, and it's giving you some insight, some motive, and some direction. So whether you continue your path with me or without me, I thank you for just allowing me to be part of it. Peace to the family. I love you all. Again, put your full name and your phone number on anything that you send. Your full name and your phone number on anything that you send. Thanks a lot, people. You are the best. And I love you. Peace to the family.